Hello, welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm remembering to vlog because I realised it was getting towards that time of day where if I don't vlog after now, I forget. Welcome back. It is reading vlog number 24. Very exciting. 24 weeks into the year, coming up for that halfway point. Whew. I've had a very busy day. I had everything laid out and ready this morning to talk about, and then I've just been running around like a chaotic chicken for the whole morning. So it's the afternoon now, and I'm going to tell you what my plans are for reading, what I read over the weekend. We'll get some direction. Hi. I left you over the weekend. I'd just finished Animorphs and also Psalm for the Wild Build, both wonderful. After that, I've read one book over the weekend. I read In the Watchful City, which is another novella, and I thought it was very good. It's not one of my favourite novellas. It's one of those more kind of conceptual stories. It's got a lot of stories within it. It just wasn't my favourite. I think it might warrant reading again. What I did like about it, or what I found interesting about it, I suppose, is that it involves multiple characters who use neopronouns. And I've read a fair number of books with non-binary main characters, but it's not something that I've read actually putting neopronouns in the text, other than Galaxy and the Ground Within. And it's really good that they're there. I would say it took me a little bit longer to fall into the rhythm of the text, just because that's not something I'm used to reading. So that puts me up to 8 books so far in the month. But my list for this week involves Animorphs 23, which again I will probably leave towards the end of the week. A Strange and Brilliant Light, I think it's Eli Lee? It's Eli something. Karen Memory, which is behind me, which I have already started. I am 60, 70 or so pages? 82 pages through Karen Memory. This is like a steampunk, the main character's a prostitute. It's so far pretty good. There's been some action, there's been some adventure. I'm excited to get a little bit more character out of our point of view character at the moment, Karen herself. We shall see. But so far there's been lots of, donning of corsets and such. Another one that I've already started. I've only read one chapter of this so far, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. I'm 12 pages into the Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. This, so far, very good. Actually quite similar in kind of time period vibes. It's not steampunk, but that's sort of like, it's history, but fantasy, so we don't need to worry about historical accuracy, that kind of stuff. I haven't started it yet, but The Price of Silver. Last week I read A Bargain in Silver. This is going to be more vampires. It's even longer than last week's one, so we shall see. Ninefox Gambit, I'm finally reading. Sorry about the lighting change. I am on chapter 4. I've just finished chapter 4, 66 pages. No idea what's going on, but I was messaging Angela about this, and I've just decided I'm going to let this book take me where it will. I'm not going to worry about understanding it. I'm just going to be swept along. Kind of like when I read The Quantum Magician. We'll go ahead with that. This is here to remind me to talk about In the Watchful City, which I already talked about, and Strange and Brilliant Light, which I've already talked about, and This Poison Heart, which, is it This Poison Heart? Yes, This Poison Heart, which is the next book from Kalynn Bayron. I loved Cinderella is Dead. I've got a video up for that if you want to go see that, but I will get back to you on that because I'm going to read it. So, because I foolishly read my novella over the weekend, it is a lot more pages to get through this week than it was last week, but I am confident that I can do it. I believe that I can. I've not got any evening plans. It should all be fine. One thing I would really like to do this week is to get out into the garden a bit more, because we've been doing a lot of gardening and it looks a little bit less overtaken by weeds, so maybe I should do some sitting outside reading. I'd better get on, but this has been vlogged. You welcome. Let's see how the week goes. Hello, happy Tuesday. Excuse the laundry noises in the background. I'm trying to take advantage of the glorious sunshine we're having here in the UK to get all of our clothes dry and clean and such. I finished another book which continues our staying on track with things. So many things behind me. I finished Karen Memory by Elizabeth Bear. If you just read it as a fun adventure kind of story, pretty good. I would say that my biggest kind of critique of this, and the reason I think I couldn't totally love it, which I should have done, there was everything I should have loved about this book, is that the main character, I don't really think I got much from her. She felt a little bit two-dimensional. All we really know about her background is that she was an orphan because her parents died, something to do with a ranch, and now she has complex feelings about horses as a result. And that's about all you get from her in terms of her motivation, and everything else, she just felt like so perfect and such a nice person in all ways, shapes and forms, and we're kind of meant to believe that the reason she's so nice to another character is because she has feelings for her, which you definitely get later in the book, and I thought it was really sweet later in the book. But at the start of the book where she's like, let me buy you loads of presents and do this for you, I was like, I just think this is unbelievably nice, and maybe that's because I'm a terrible, terrible person who would not do those things. Nonetheless, I had a good time with this. I would read more books in this world, I would read a similar story again, but I didn't connect with it in a way that I think I could have done if I got a little bit more out of Karen. I am a couple of chunks of the way through Ninefox Gambit, still similar to last time. I'm just sort of letting it take me where it will. I will chat about that when it's done. I think that's probably going to be easier than saying that every single time. I am a chunk through A Bargain in Silver, and this it's mostly been recapping book 1 so far, which I don't begrudge it at all. That's what happens. You have to set the scene again. But I'm excited to get into the meat of this book. No pun intended. I don't know. Anyway. And then I am 158 pages through The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry, which I am enjoying. Again, similar to Karen Memory, which is one of those things that flips the switch in my brain of like, maybe this is a me problem and not a book problem. But I'm finding it hard to really get in the head of this character, less so than with Karen Memory. But Deli is, again, just a little tiny weensy bit flat, but there's a way to go in this book yet, so I think we're going to get there. What's interesting to me is it's packed a lot into these first few pages, and I don't actually know where the rest of this is going. Yeah, I'm having a good time. There's some romance, it's fun. That's everything that I've been reading. I'm going to go put the laundry outside and get on with the rest of my day. I should say, I'm going to try and finish one of these today. I'm probably going to shoot to try and finish either Ninefox Gambit or Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. We'll see. We'll see. And I will see you tomorrow, or the day after, depending on my future endeavours. Hello, happy Wednesday. I normally forget to vlog on a Wednesday, so I'm feeling good about it. I'm just going to do a very quick update on a book I finished, which is this, The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. I can say it. I don't want to go into the dribs and drabs of other books that I've been reading. I think it would be better to just talk about this very quickly. So this is kind of an adventuring story. We have busting a conspiracy, we have busting some drug dealing, we have being gay and doing crime, but then maybe feeling a bit questionable about the crime you're doing, whether you should be doing it to a person that you're interested in romantically. And yeah, I thought it was really good. It took me a little while to get into the voice. It's very much written as like a sort of Cockney, but not like that kind of slang driven language, but like old-timey slang. For instance, Deli ate another whelk. This was one to engage the organs of ponderation, all right. You know, that kind of vibe. It would be an excellent audiobook for Moira Rose, to be honest. Overall, I definitely enjoyed it. I don't think it like totally blew me away, but it was a very lovely read, and it was certainly one that I would pick up again and have a good time with if I was ever in the need for something exciting but comforting, I would say, like broadly speaking comforting. But there are some darker moments. So yeah, that was fun. I'm going to try and finish Ninefox Gambit today and maybe make a start on some of the ebooks that I haven't started yet. I shall come back to you tomorrow about all of this because it's too hard to function today. Oh, you're getting all the weird angles in this vlog because I keep moving my camera around as I clean the room. Hi, I'm just perched on my reading chair, as one does. So I finished Ninefox Gambit, some ukulele chords. And while I don't think I understood much, if any, of it, my overall impression of it was good. I don't know if that's a selling point for you or a danger warning sign for you, but I will say I liked the emotional journey that the book took me on, and I think it's one that will improve with rereads, and I would reread it. Whereas some other things, I'm like, I'd probably understand that more on a reread, but I don't want to read it. Whereas this, I do want to read again, and I would like to finish the rest of the series. So I think maybe I'll plan to do that in the autumn, she says, not really knowing what reading's going to be like at that point. Then today I finished This Poison Heart by Kalynn Bayron, which, if you remember, I loved Cinderella is Dead so much. And this is very different from that in that it's modern day. It's not a contemporary because it's got a lot of fantasy elements to it, but it's in a contemporary setting. And you have this girl called Briseis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's from the Greek. And she basically inherits this old house in, what's it called, Rhinebeck? I don't know, my American knowledge of places isn't very good. And her mums go out there, and she also has magical plant powers. And it was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be towards the end, which I'm not complaining about. I like a dark YA. But overall, I just thought it was really engaging and really good, and sort of what I've been looking for in the YA that I've been reading lately. So yes, I would definitely recommend that. If that's not on your list and you will like a YA fantasy, I would definitely suggest that you read it. It's got some good stuff in it. I'm about 60% of the way through A Strange and Brilliant Light by Eli Lee. At the moment, I don't think I'm loving it. I like a lot of the ideas within it. So it's dealing with what the world would look like if AI was taking over. And not in a malevolent, haha, we are the robot revolution kind of way, but in a, it is cheaper to employ a robot than a human. What does this look like if we don't simultaneously provide for the people whose jobs are being taken by AI? And I think that's an important thing to be discussed, but I'm not enjoying the book. It's all a bit kind of like, well, nobody's having a good time. Everyone just seems to be a bit depressed. Like, it's the same emotions that I had after watching Inside the Bo Burnham special. Those emotions, but this book and all the time. And there are no comedy songs. So I'll see how I feel. Maybe it'll get more exciting towards the end. I think it might be one of those ones where it is valuable as a story, but not an enjoyable time, is my suspicion. I've not read much of anything else, I don't think. No, I need to catch up with a whole bunch of other stuff, but I finished 12 books and it is the 10th today, so I'm feeling good, but I don't want to get behind, so to do that I am thus staying ahead. And if that doesn't give you an insight into how I got through school, I don't know what will. I do have a sewing project. I'm hoping to get that finished this weekend, but I also have my first vaccine this weekend, so we shall see. Maybe I'll be totally wiped out. I don't know. I will know by the time this vlog goes up, but it won't be included in this vlog because it'll be Saturday morning. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be doing. Have I shown you my new moss friends? They're actually algae, but they are moss. Hang on. Meet my Marimo balls. Aren't they cute? It is a type of spherical algae, although mine aren't looking very spherical at the moment because they're in too small of a container and I need to redistribute them. This is what happens when somebody who loves animals can't have a pet for many years. She adopts moss and pet rocks and stuff. I'm going to work on Bargain in Silver tonight, I think, and then I'm going to try and finish Strange and Brilliant like tomorrow, I think, and then round out the weekend with Animorphs. And then we'll have done the full set. And that would be very good. So I shall get on with that and I shall speak to you tomorrow. It just felt sensible to like shunt this way every clip. It's Friday and I'm having the worst allergies. I'm in the hottest room with the windows totally closed and an air purifier running that I'm not going to turn off for the sake of this clip. But there are books to be talked about, so let's get that through and then I will get to the edit, which is why my laptop is here. I've just kicked up a whole bunch of dust as well. So I finished The Price of Silver. And I liked it. I think what's really interesting about these books, and I'm trying to see it as an interesting point rather than as a criticism, because I think it could be very interesting, is we have these like very immortal vampires in this story, and our main character is mortal, and so about halfway through this book it mentions that it's been basically 10 days she's met one of the romantic interest characters, and I was like, blimey, it's been 10 days. A lot has happened. Some very intense emotions have been happening, and I think that a very cynical portion of me goes like, this is too fast. I shouldn't have 10 days over 2 books is just way too speedy. But at the same time, I think it's a really interesting thing to put these very like immortal characters in a very tight frame of time. I don't know. Time frame, that's the word for that. I thought it was interesting. As with last week, I'm gonna probably hold off on talking too much about this until I've read the whole series, but I am remembering characters who turn up in the other series that I stupidly read before this one because I'm a mess. So that'll be fun to reread because that's coming up on the list soon. And then I also finished A Strange and Brilliant Light. I found it interesting. I didn't enjoy it. And I wouldn't say it's a read for pleasure kind of book. And really I would say it's an interesting thought piece, but way too long and just so depressing. Just nobody is happy at any point, really, in the whole book. And I want to be like, yes, this featured, you know, women in STEM and queer women and interesting conversations about the ethics of AI and consciousness. And I want to say, yes, of course, go and read this. But at the same time, I don't know if anyone else finds this, but sometimes I just want to be happy. And I don't need that. So there you go. If you are in the mood for like a happy queer women in STEM story, this is not it. But if you have the space to read something that is more miserable, or bleak is probably the better word, it's not actively sad all the time, it's just a bit kind of like, what is the point of anything? That kind of emotion. That's not to say it's badly written, that's not to say that the book itself is not good, that's not to say that the topic isn't important or that the characters aren't worth being represented. It's mostly just, oh, this was not the best timing for me, and I don't think I've ever been the kind of person who really likes a bleak story, so that's where I'm at with that one. That does mean that we are up to, come hither you, or I could throw a pen on the floor, that would be fine too, 14 books this month, which is very, very good. We are nearly halfway through, and it is the 11th today, so 2 thumbs up to me. This evening, as usual, I'm probably not going to do too much reading. I might do a little bit if the fancy takes me, but otherwise I shall see you tomorrow morning. I am getting vaccinated tomorrow morning, so I don't know when I will vlog before or after that. It depends when I wake up, and it depends whether my face stops leaking. This is the glamorous content that you signed up for. Like, when I started YouTube, I was worried I was going to have to look attractive all the time, and I'm so glad to say that that is true, and I do look stunning all the time. Every moment. Always. Hello, excuse the greasy hair. I was up very early this morning. Happy Saturday. I've had my first vaccination to me. Aw, yeah. After getting vaccinated, we did stop into town because we needed to do some things. Katie needed a new phone, we needed a lawnmower, that kind of thing. And I happened to stumble into Waterstones, and our Waterstones is not the best for science fiction and fantasy, but they did have a copy of Joanne Harris's new book, which you can't see how beautiful it is, but it is absolutely stunning. This is called Honeycomb, and this is rich, dark, opulent, cocooned in silken shadows, a novel unlike any other. A honeycomb built from 100 cells, where each cell is a story in its own right. Could this all be a lot of wankery? Potentially. But it was too beautiful to pass up and I wanted it. And I've liked Joanne Harris's other stuff that I've read. So I put it in my cart and I purchased it and it's mine now. Other than that, I haven't done any more reading because I haven't, I got up very early this morning to go and get vaccinated. But it has been a very good week. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off editing the vlog and then I might just take a bit of time today to pause, so I don't get totally burned out on this reading challenge of mine. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of the day, really. Enjoy the sunshine, have a nap, not feel terrible, drink some Prosecco maybe, have a nice time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me whenever you're watching this. I had a lot of wins this week. I had a lot of books that I very much enjoyed and a couple of things that I feel like I really should have enjoyed that I might give a second shot to, like Karen Memory, might reread it. Let me know in the comments below what you've been up to, what you've been reading. I would love to hear from you. Drop those comments away. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. It makes me feel loved and appreciated. Come hang out with us on Discord. We have a good time. That's all from me and I will see you in the next one. It's gonna be some bloopers now. Ba, ba, ba. I hate everything. Why am I like this? I should learn to dust. I am a human adult person and I should be able to keep dust out of my office.